Hey there. You ever find yourself fuming because someone cut you off in traffic, or maybe your coworker just won't stop chewing loud enough to wake a coma patient? We've all been there, heart pounding, jaw clenched, ready to snap. But what if I told you there's a way to never let that stuff get under your skin again? Not just to fake being calm, but to actually feel it deep down, no matter what anyone throws at you. That's what we're digging into today, how to never get angry or bothered by anyone, using some ancient Stoic philosophy with a twist you won't see coming. Stick with me, because this isn't your typical self-help spiel. It's a story, a journey, and by the end, you'll have a secret weapon to stay unshakable. Let's start with a guy named Marcus, not the Roman emperor, though we'll get to him later. This Marcus is a barista at your local coffee shop. He's got tattoos snaking up his arms, a perpetual smirk, and a knack for screwing up orders in the most infuriating way possible. Last week he handed me a latte when I ordered a black coffee, no sugar, no foam, just coffee. I could feel the heat rising in my chest, that little voice in my head screaming, "How hard is it to get this right?" But then I remembered something I'd been mulling over, a Stoic idea that flipped the whole situation on its head. It's not about what Marcus did, it's about what I think about what Marcus did. Sounds simple, right? But it's the first crack in the wall of anger we're going to tear down together. See, the Stoics, guys like Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, believe that nothing outside you can make you angry unless you let it. It's not the spilled coffee or the loud chewer or even the friend who ghosts you that's the problem. It's your judgment about it. Epictetus put it like this: you're not upset by things, but by your opinions of them. So when Marcus hands me that latte, I could decide he's an idiot who's out to ruin my day. Or I could decide it's just a cup of coffee and I'm not going to let it dictate how I feel. That's the Stoic starter pack. You control your mind, not the other way around. But here's where it gets juicy. Marcus isn't just a random barista. He's about to become the unlikely hero of this story, and I didn't even know it yet. Picture this. I'm back at the coffee shop a few days later, still testing this Stoic trick. I order my black coffee again, and Marcus, yep, you guessed it, slides a cappuccino across the counter with a grin. This time, I take a breath and think, okay, let's play this out. What's the worst that can happen? I drink foam instead. Of bitterness, big deal. I sip it, and honestly, it's not half bad. But then Marcus leans over and says something that catches me off guard. "You're the only one who doesn't yell when I mess up." "Why's that?" I freeze. I wasn't expecting a conversation, let alone a question that sharp from a guy I'd pegged as clueless. I mumble something about trying to stay calm, and he nods like he gets it. "Cool," he says. "Most people lose it over nothing." That's when it hits me. Marcus isn't screwing up on accident. He's testing people. He's watching how they react, like some caffeine-fueled philosopher in a green apron. And I'd passed his little experiment without even knowing it. Suddenly, this isn't just about me dodging anger anymore. It's about why we get angry in the first place, and what happens when we don't. The Stoics would love this. Seneca once said, "Anger is a kind of madness," and Marcus, the barista, not the emperor, was proving it by showing how people flip out over a $5 drink. But here's the twist. He wasn't just observing. He had a reason, a deeper game I'd stumble into soon enough. So how do you start pulling this off in your own life? Step 1, catch yourself in the act. Next time someone pisses you off, say your roommate leaves dishes in the sink again, pause. Ask yourself, what's my opinion here? Maybe you're thinking, they're lazy, they don't respect me. Now flip it. Could it be they're just distracted, or maybe it's not about you at all? The Stoics called this reframing. Shifting your lens so the thing doesn't sting. It's not ignoring the problem, it's stripping it of its power over you. And trust me, it's harder than it sounds when you're in the thick of it. But that's where Marcus, the barista, comes back into play. I started going to that coffee shop more, partly for the coffee, partly to figure out what this guy was up to. Each time, he'd tweak my order just enough to nudge me, sometimes a splash of milk, sometimes a shot of espresso I didn't ask for. And each time I'd practice letting it go, watching my anger fizzle before it could catch fire. But one day, he didn't mess up. He handed me a perfect black coffee and said, "You're different now. You don't flinch." I laughed, thinking, he was just being weird, but then he dropped a bombshell that turned this whole thing upside down, and it's where we're headed next. Stick around, because this is about to get wild. So there I am, standing at the counter with my perfectly poured black coffee, feeling a little smug about mastering this stoic calm thing, when Marcus, the barista with the smirk and the secret, agenda, leans in and says, "You know, I used to be like them." I blink. "Like who?" I ask. He nods toward the line of customers behind me, the ones tapping their feet, scrolling their phones, ready to snap if their oat milk isn't frothed just right. "Angry," he says, "all the time, until I figured out it was killing me. I'm hooked now, coffee cooling in my hand, because this isn't just small talk anymore. Marcus is about to unravel something big, and it's going to tie right back to this stoic trick of never getting bothered by anyone. He tells me his story, and it's not what I expected. Turns out Marcus wasn't always a barista. A couple of years ago, he was a hotshot sales guy, suit, tie, the whole deal. Big commissions, bigger stress. But he had a temper that could torture room. I'd lose it over anything, he says. A client cancels, my boss breathes down my neck, traffic jams. I was a walking explosion. One day, he flipped out so bad during a meeting, yelling, slamming a laptop shut, that he got fired on the spot. Worse, his girlfriend walked out that same week, saying she couldn't handle the rage anymore. I hit rock bottom, he admits, wiping down the counter like it's no big deal now. But that's when I found this old book in a thrift store, Marcus Aurelius's Meditations. Changed everything. I almost dropped my coffee. Marcus the barista was saved by Marcus the emperor. This is getting too good. He goes on. I started reading it, and it was like this guy from 2,000 years ago was calling me out. He said stuff, like you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you'll find strength. I thought, okay, if I can't control the world, maybe I can control me. So he quit the corporate grind, took this low-key barista gig, and started messing with orders, not to be a jerk, but to practice. Every time someone yells, he says, I remind myself it's their problem, not mine, and when they don't, like you, I know they've got something figured out. This is Stoicism in action, straight from a guy steaming oat milk instead of a Roman palace. Marcus Aurelius would have nodded approvingly. He wrote about how people are like sparks flying off a fire, here 1 second, gone the next. Why waste your peace on someone's fleeting nonsense? Our Marcus, the barista, took that to heart, turning his coffee shop into a training ground. And here's where it twists again. He wasn't just training himself. He was looking for people like me, people who could handle the curveballs without cracking. Why? Because he had a plan, and I was about to get roped into it. Ever think about teaching this stuff? He asks me, casual as ever. I laugh it off. Me? Teach? I'm just a guy trying not to yell at baristas. But he's serious. You've got it, he says, that calm thing. People need that. I'm flattered but skeptical. Then he pulls out a notebook from under the counter, scribbled with names, dates and notes. These are the ones who didn't flip out, he explains. I've been watching, waiting. I want to start something, a group, maybe a class. Real people, real problems, figuring out how to stay steady. You in? I'm stunned. This whole time, I thought I was the one experimenting with Stoicism, but Marcus had been running his own experiment, and I'd just been recruited. Now, let's bring this back to you. What Marcus the barista stumbled into is the next Stoic. Tool, focus on what's yours. The Stoics were obsessed with this idea of control. Epictetus said it best. Some things are up to us and some aren't. Your opinion, up to you. Your reaction, up to you. That jerk who cuts you off in traffic. Not up to you. Marcus stopped fighting the stuff he couldn't change, like rude customers or burned espresso, and started working on what he could, his own headspace. You can do that too. Next time someone's pushing your buttons, ask, "What's mine?" Here, your anger isn't. They don't own it, you do. Let it go and you're free. But freedom's tricky. I said yes to Marcus that day, mostly because I was curious. We started meeting up, me, him, and a handful of others from his notebook. Just a few people in a back room of the coffee shop, talking about life, anger, and how to sidestep it. It was messy at first. Nobody's a stoic overnight. One guy, Dave, kept ranting about his ex-wife. A woman named Lila couldn't stop stressing about her boss. Marcus would just sit there, sipping his coffee, and say, "What's in your hands?" Over time, it clicked for them. For me, we were building something, a little tribe of people trying to outsmart their own tempers. And then came the day it all went sideways, when Marcus's past came crashing back in a way none of us saw coming. So here we are, a ragtag crew of wannabe stoics crammed into the coffee shop's back room, sipping lukewarm drinks and swapping stories about the stuff that used to set us off. Marcus, the barista turned guru, is at the head of the table, grinning like he's cracked life's code. I'm starting to get it too. This stoic thing isn't just about dodging anger, it's about rewriting how you see the world. But just when I think we've got this figured out, the door swings open, and Marcus's past walks in, wearing a cheap suit and a scowl. Turns out, staying calm isn't just a theory, it's about to be a test. The guy's name is Tony, and he's got the kind of energy that makes you want to brace for impact. "Well, well," he says, eyeing Marcus like a shark smelling blood. "Still playing coffee boy, huh?" Marcus doesn't flinch, just nods and says, "Good to see you too, Tony." The rest of us exchange looks. Nobody knows what's happening, but the air's thick with it. Tony's his old sales buddy from the corporate days, the one who watched Marcus implode that fateful meeting. "Heard you're running some kind of cult now." Tony sneers, glancing at us. "What's the pitch? Don't get mad. Get even." Marcus laughs, soft and steady, and I realize he's already miles ahead of this guy. See, this is the stoic endgame. When the world throws a punch, you don't swing back. You step aside. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." Tony's here to rattle him, maybe drag him back to that angry place he left behind. But Marcus isn't biting. He offers Tony a coffee, black, no frills, and says, "Sit if you want, we're just talking." Tony scoffs, but takes the cup, hovering like he's too cool to commit. And that's when I see it. Marcus isn't just calm, he's untouchable. It's the third stoic trick, accept what is, not what you wish it was. We keep going, pretending Tony's not looming there. Dave pipes up about his ex-wife again, how she's dating some gym bro now, and Marcus asks, "Can you change it?" Dave grumbles, "No." "Then why carry it?" Marcus says. "It's brutal but kind, like a splash of cold water." Lila chimes in about her boss, and Marcus hits her with the same. "Is he in this room?" "No." "Then he's not your problem right now." Tony snorts, muttering, "This is some Zen bullshit." But he's still here, still listening. And me? I'm thinking about that latte from weeks ago, how I could have let it ruin my day, but didn't. That's the power of acceptance, letting reality be what it is, instead of fighting it. Tony finally sits, slumping into a chair like he's doing us a favor. "You really buy this?" he asks me, jabbing a thumb at Marcus. I shrug. "It works. You should try it." He rolls his eyes but doesn't leave. Over the next hour, we keep talking about traffic jams, rude strangers, all the little triggers. Marcus drops another gem from Seneca. "You'll cease to be angry once you cease to hope people will be different." Tony laughs, but it's weaker now, like he's running out of steam. And then he says something that flips the script. "You know, I came here to mess with you, man. Thought I'd get you riled up for old time's sake." Marcus just smiles. "I figured. That's when it clicks for all of us. Tony wasn't the villain, he was the test. Marcus knew it, maybe even invited it without telling us. He'd been prepping for this, using every wrong order, every annoyed customer to build a shield nothing could pierce. And now Tony's here, not to win, but to lose. To see if Marcus was still the guy who'd smash a laptop over a bad day. He wasn't. Tony slinks out eventually, muttering about weirdos, but there's no venom left. We're all quiet for a minute. Then Lila says, "That was intense." Marcus nods. "That's life, it keeps coming. You just decide how to meet it." So here's the final piece for you. Decide. That's the Stoic secret to never getting angry or bothered. It's not about never feeling the spark. It's about choosing what you do with it. Next time someone cuts you off, spills your drink, or storms into your day like Tony, you've got options. Judge it and burn, or let it pass and breathe. Marcus the barista taught me that, and Marcus Aurelius backed it up. If you're distressed by anything external, the pain isn't due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. You're not a puppet to other people's chaos. You're the one pulling your own strings. Our little group kept meeting after that, growing bit by bit. Marcus never stopped tweaking orders, but now it was our inside joke, a reminder to stay sharp. Tony even came back once, quieter, asking questions instead of throwing jabs. Maybe he's one of us now, maybe not, doesn't matter. What matters is you, right here, right now. You've got this story, these tools, and a choice. Next time the world tries to light your fuse, think of Marcus, both of them, and ask, do I let this own me or do I own it? I know what I'm picking. How about you?